A Brooklyn Park family has been displaced after a freak lightning strike on their home on Sunday afternoon. As Delane Cleveland reports, no one was hurt, but the home sustained extensive damage.
The neighbors literally came running down the street. I've never seen so many people come together at once.
Mother Nature is capable of doing some powerful things.
Got shrapnel all over the backyard.
Ken Bergman discovered that the hard way over the weekend.
The house is totaled. Ceilings are gone. I blew stuff all apart in the house, blew doors off hinges.
Sunday afternoon, lightning came out of nowhere.
It wasn't raining, it was just overcast.
It struck Bergman's house and the massive tree in his backyard.
Just an incredible explosion. I've been around a lot of explosions and I've never heard one like that. It blew the soffits off the house.
The aftermath left him with extensive damage and a massive cleanup job. His backyard is littered with tree shrapnel, but this is nothing compared to the inside of the house.
That was the kitchen.
When the lightning struck the house, the ceiling collapsed. Now nearly every inch of the home's interior is covered with insulation.
And we found that in another room.
Bergman was outside when it happened.
It was like getting shelled.
But his 9-year-old daughter and 80-year-old mother were inside working on a puzzle.
Came busting through the back door. My mother was stumbling around this corner here, headed towards the door. And all she could say is, Kira's crying and screaming and I can't find her. And I said, I've got her.
Bergman had to dig through the rubble to find one of his dogs, but otherwise, everyone made it out relatively unscathed.
This is the closet door. See the lightning hit?
He estimates it will take about a year to rebuild. In the meantime, he plans to live in a camper parked in his driveway. While it's far from a perfect scenario, he's thankful that things didn't turn out worse.
I'm not angry. I'm not upset. My kid's alive. My mom's alive. My dogs are alive. Everything else can be rebuilt. So we're going to go from there.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A man is recovering after being shot outside of a home in Brooklyn Center. Police were called to the 5700 block of Logan Avenue North Monday afternoon. When officers arrived, they found a man who was shot in the legs. According to police, the shooting started over a domestic dispute. A daughter thought her mom was being abused by her partner. The daughter later went outside to her boyfriend, who was waiting in the car, and told him to, quote, get him. Shortly afterwards, the boyfriend shot the man. Police have an arrest warrant out for the daughter and her boyfriend. The shooting victim has non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to be okay. Meanwhile, Maple Grove police responded to a crash involving a driver who was able to escape arrest and flee authorities. According to police, someone called 911 in Orono late Sunday night on a reckless driver. When police found the vehicle, the person sped off, eventually crashing into another car more than a dozen miles away on the I-494 Bass Lake Road exit in Maple Grove. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. However, the driver ran off and was able to avoid arrest. As of Tuesday afternoon, police continued to search for that person. There have been nearly 321,000 confirmed COVID cases in Hennepin County since the start of the pandemic. That's according to the Minnesota Department of Health. While cases are leveling off after a recent increase the last few months, testing sites are still in demand. CCX News reporter Sarah Tamer has more.
The COVID-19 testing site at Starlight Center in Brooklyn Park saw a steady stream of people Tuesday.
Oh, we just thought we'd get a COVID test.
Lines weren't nearly as long as they once were.
Now it's you walk right in, give your sample, and then walk right out.
But demand for testing sites still exists despite availability of at-home testing kits.
I think it's fantastic. I think I was scared that they would go away, and I'm so glad that they haven't.
According to the Minnesota Department of Health, testing was up 30% in April at state community testing sites.
A lot of people just, I think they have a difficult time maybe getting the at-home tests or figuring out how to use them. And this way they just walk in the door and get it done.
In a statement to CCX News, health officials said clinical personnel from the federal government will be transforming existing Minnesota testing sites into test-to-treat sites. Minnesotans who test positive would be prescribed medication at no cost. It's unclear how long the site will remain open, but as of right now, the need is still there. Reporting in Brooklyn Park, Sarah Tamer, CCX News.
New Hope City Manager Kirk McDonald is retiring after 32 years with the city. We had a chance to interview him about his 3+ decades in New Hope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
At Kirk McDonald's last city council meeting, when the applause dies down, you can hear his unmistakable laugh. New Hope's top administrator has quite a sense of humor, and he wasn't afraid to show it in his last interview with us.
Do you have my best side?
And when you hear his laugh, you can't help but laugh along too.
Let's face it, we all spend so much time at work. I mean, so this is like your work family. It has been for the last 32 years.
The work family of New Hope has had quite a few victories under McDonald in terms of development.
We were lucky to get the first Hy-Vee development in the Twin Cities. That brought North Memorial Medical Clinic down the streets, the first Dunkin' Donuts in the Twin Cities. It really just revived this whole area.
The area would also become home to the new City Hall, police station, and aquatic park.
I'm really proud that we didn't just do that all our own. It wasn't staff's idea. We formed a community task force.
One of the most difficult times for McDonald's work family came in early 2015.
Everybody get down.
When a gunman opened fire during a city council meeting.
I actually didn't even realize it was gunshots until later that night. It sounded like a bunch of fireworks going off in the lobby.
He says that event was hard for everyone.
I just kept this attitude of, you know, we're going to keep moving forward. We'll get through this. Everything will be all right. And eventually it was all right.
And McDonald says the most emotional part of his career was that next meeting when neighboring council members and police officers came to show support.
That was really very heartwarming. And we started the agenda exactly where we had left off.
McDonald was dedicated to getting work done then, just like he was in his last interview with us, wrapping it up with a great line and a great laugh.
Was there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I've talked enough.
Adam?
The Champlin Park baseball team has a really good pitcher in Andrew Rockow, and he dominated in the Rebels' opening playoff game in the Section 5 4A tournament on Memorial Day. Here's Jason Malillo with highlights.
Section 5 4A baseball action, Totino Grace hosting Champlin Park. Rebels junior Andrew Rockow works a 1-2-3 first inning with a pair of strikeouts. Top four, Champlin Park Zach Zalaka rips a line drive that gets over the outfielder and brings home Ryan Oberstar for the first run of the game. It's a 2-out double for Zalaka. Top five, the Rebels blow it open. Tyler Trombley's fly ball is deep and down, scoring Jack Harris and Justin Brooks. Next batter is Oberstar, and he rips a hit to bring around Brody Olson and Trombley. Back-to-back two-run doubles, and CP leads 6-rip. Bottom five, Rockow still going strong as he sits down another Grace hitter. Top six, Brooks's knock plates Harris. Brooks would later score on a sacrifice fly for an 8-0 Rebels lead. And Rockow closes the show with another strikeout as he weaves a 2-hit shutout with 13 Ks. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
The Rebels play at top-seeded Maple Grove in the second round Wednesday afternoon. The Crimson beat Irondale 15-0 Monday behind a combined no-hitter from pitchers Aiden McMahon and Cal Thorson. Osseo is the number 3 seed for Section 5 4A baseball. Jay Wilcox has highlights from their playoff opener.
Memorial Field the site on Memorial Day as Osseo hosts Spring Lake Park in Section 5 4A baseball. Osseo gets on the board in the bottom of the first as Spencer Peterson's blooper clears the infield to score Davis Wick, and the Orioles go up 1-0. It stays that way until the top of the sixth when Spring Lake Park's Caleb Tays grounds a hit past the second baseman and into right center to score Caden Carson. It's even at 1-1 in a good pitcher's duel. But Osseo responds in a big way. Bottom of the sixth, and Tyler Rose laces it down the first baseline. Riley Cara scores the go-ahead run, and Rose is fired up as he reaches third with a triple. Next batter, Peterson grounds a hit between third and short to bring Rose home. Peterson's second RBI makes it 3-1 Orioles. And they aren't done. Next batter, Matthew Kitzman unloads, driving a 2-run blast to right center field. Osseo erupts for 4 runs to go up 5-1. And Peterson finishes a complete game on the mound, fielding his position well here as Osseo wins it 5-1. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Orioles next play at number 2 seed Mounds View in the second round Wednesday afternoon. Section softball tournaments continue this week. Hopkins is the top seed in Section 6-4A. And Jason Malillo has highlights from the Royals semifinal game.
Defending section champion Hopkins facing Edina. 2 outs, 1 on in the bottom of the first. Lola Jensen delivers a hit to plate Signe Dose, who led off the game with a double, and the Royals are on the board. Second inning, the bottom of the order comes through. Anissa Dysart's gapper scores Addie Kroll. It's a 2-out triple for Dysart. Then Dose rips a hit up the middle to score Dysart. 3-rip Royals. Dose also in the circle for Hopkins, and she strikes out the side in the third. Bottom 6, the Signe Dose show continues. 1 hopper to the fence, scores Emily Kanitz and Dysart. It's a triple for Dose and 2 more RBIs. Royals go up 7-0. And Dose closes the game with a strikeout, her 11th on the night. She tosses a 1-hit shutout, and Hopkins advances. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
The Royals are facing Wayzata, an 8-4 winner over Armstrong in the winner's bracket final Tuesday. The winner of that game is into the championship round Wednesday. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.